Good afternoon from the garden and welcome to our greenhouse. It's the 19th of October and in today's video I want to show you how we're transitioning the greenhouse from summer crops to winter crops. In some of our previous videos that we filmed over the summer you could see glimpses of the greenhouse. We also filmed a video about the different tomato varieties that we were growing here. And basically what we did was divide the greenhouse in thirds to be able to practice some crop rotation, and in 1/3 of it we grew plants from the nightshade family, which are tomatoes, peppers and aubergines. Then in another third, potatoes. Plants from the cucumber family, those were gherkins and melons mainly in this case. And then in the last third we're growing sweet potatoes. Those are not harvested yet, we'll do it in some future video, but I don't think I will wait much longer with harvesting them. As you can see, most of the summer crops have been cleared. I've just left 2 tomatoes plants which are still producing well, and I was able to plant the winter crops around them. So I want to keep those as long as they last. For the first time this year I also tried growing Curcuma Turmeric, which I started from tubers that I bought in the store, and I planted it here in the greenhouse. It's something I have not done before. I could not find a lot of information of people trying it in our climate, and I don't think the plants were very happy. You can see that the leaves are kind of burned, so I think it was too sunny in the greenhouse. But let's have a look whether there is some crop. Does not look very promising. Does not seem there are really any tubers to speak of. I think this is the mother. No, there's really almost nothing. A little tuber over here that we might be able to do something with. Yeah. There's a little bit here that we can use, but that's really not much. So, I don't know. It might be worth trying to sprout them earlier, or and definitely to give some protection from the bright light. But other than that, I'm open to any recommendations that you might have. This will only be the second winter that we actually have a greenhouse. In the previous years we made use of a simple cold frame, but a greenhouse gives us many more possibilities for winter growing. But I'm still trying to figure out what really the best way to use it is. And this year I'm already growing a bigger variety of crops and testing more different plants to see how well they were produced in the greenhouse. The crop that I enjoyed the most last winter was hardy lettuce, which was called, we had a variety that was called Kweek, and I was hoping to grow a lot more of it, but my sowing failed a bit, so I only have a handful of lettuce plants over there. I don't know whether you can see them. I have different varieties. I have also tried winter density, and but they got mixed up, so I'm actually not quite sure. Rouge d'hiver, I think, is this one, but we'll see when they get bigger. And I hope to grow more next year. Another crop that we enjoyed and that really performed for a long time were bunching onions, so spring onions. And I pre-sowed these, and I have several tucked in between the lettuce because they have the upright growth habit, so they go really well with other more spreading plants. And over here I have several plants of flat leaf parsley, which is also quite hardy and should survive here in the greenhouse. Sometimes the plants also survive outside, but a lot of the crops actually that I have here can also overwinter outside in our climate, but in the greenhouse they should regrow much more frequently or much faster, and we should be able to harvest a lot more than from the plants that are growing outside. Over here I have some coriander or cilantro, I don't know how hard these are in our climate, how long they will last, but so far they're growing well, and we'll see how long we'll be able to harvest from them. Then over here I have chervil, which is a very hardy and very pleasantly, very hardy herb with a very pleasant aniseed-like taste. So it's also a nice addition to winter salads. And here I have some Johnny Jump Up violets, which are nice to add to salads. I will be planting a few more here. Over here on the other side of the greenhouse I have 2 rows of landcress, which is also quite a hardy plant, and it has a nice spicy mustardy taste. But again, I'm hoping that by planting it in the greenhouse we'll be able to harvest from it more. Then I have 2 Belgian endives, which grow fine in the fall, but then they usually, when it really starts freezing, and especially if there's a lot of rain, then they will start rotting. And I'm hoping that in the greenhouse they should grow better and longer, and that maybe we will also harvest them not as a whole head, but as a more like leaf by leaf, to prolong the harvest. Then we have some chard, and again I think that I will just keep harvesting the young leaves for salads. I have 2 pea plants, and I will be sowing more peas very early next year for pea shoots. Then over here I have winter purslane, again a very hardy plant with a very mild flavor, which means it's a very good base for salads, for winter salads, because you can use a lot of it. Like landcress is so spicy that you can't really eat a lot, and it's good to mix it with a mild tasting salad plant. Then I have some dill, which is self-sown dill that I always have in the garden, and I just took some young plants and replanted them over here. Again, this is not a totally hardy herb, but I hope that in the greenhouse we can keep it going longer. The last salad plant that I have here is this red bean sorrel, which looks really pretty in salads, and it's also more milder tasting during the winter months, during the cold months. It's actually a perennial, short-lived perennial plant, but in the greenhouse I think I will keep it as an annual and then take it out in spring when I want to plant something else. I'm quite happy with the variety that we have going on here, and I hope we'll be able to pick lots of salads during the winter months. I'll keep you posted on how our greenhouse is doing. If you also have a greenhouse, then I would love to hear how you are using it during the winter. So please comment below. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up. I'll see you again next time. Happy gardening!